Today I'm going to give you some information, or it was a part of a lesson on how to file, and I took this course from a goldsmith, and it really changed the way I filed forever. Of course, I've been practicing the filing for a long time, and I know there's a lot of wheels that you can use as well to clean small blobs of solder on rings. But in any case, I think for me, learning how to file evenly around the ring band or any ring band is very, very useful. And I think for me, I have more control with a file than with a wheel at times, when it's very, well, I would say when it's not as thick, the wire, you don't want to eat more metal than what you need to, because it's not going to look pretty. So I think I use actually a half round file for this purpose, and you have control because it doesn't have a foot pedal. You cannot go over. So what I do is that I take this half round file, it's a number 2, okay, and you just start filing on that small blob right there. It's about, I would say, 3 millimeters of blob. I place my ring on my bench, right, just like so, like this, and like that, right, grab it really hard, and I start, filing in this motion, only right there where I have the blob, not all over. Then after that, but very, very lightly, do not press hard. You do not have to press hard. You're going to swipe lightly, and it'll go further, of course, on both sides. But you move and check, turn the ring and do the other side. Do not file constantly on one side, because you don't want to eat that metal. And very, very lightly, just touching the metal and moving back and forth. It will come with practice, so you want to have balance on both sides, right? Also, something that I heard over and over again while I was in this class is try not to leave any facet, right? Just have clean swipes. You don't do this. You just back and forth, going, like this. It's just cleaning, all right? You don't have to really apply pressure. It's just so soft. It's really hard to explain because you're not actually seeing like I see right here. It's kind of difficult for me to show you exactly. So when you see that it's smooth and no facets, and trying to maintain always that thickness of the wire, okay? It's just on the surface. You just want to go soft until you have taken out that protruding blob that you had there, So anyway, then you turn to the inside of the ring and do the same thing in this motion with no facets, just a clean swipe back and forth. Right, and then you turn around and you do the other side very softly. Sorry for saying that so many times, but this is the truth. This is what I experienced. I mean, he really didn't, when I went to the class, he really didn't explain to me. He just wanted me to see it, as he said, oh, go ahead and file and do the same motion that I'm doing. And there was no nothing written on a book actually. Practice is everything, I believe. And I do these little tutorials because I have fun, and I want you to see what I do too. It's a constant practice, constant. And when you see that your ring is getting there, it is. It turns out so beautiful because you see, I have the control. But I think learning to file is very important because that's the foundation, of a good looking piece. Everything you cannot do everything with real. You have to have some skills, filing skills too. So I think it's really important. These I love these half round files, and for this purpose, like I said, the number 2. Here the same thing, the motion, like I repeatedly say. This is the motion on that blob. You don't need to do this all around the ring. It's just right here, right, and try to keep the same thickness. Like I said, you're just only cleaning. You're not really trying to file anything, from the original ring. It's just that little amount of blob there. Beautiful how that seam disappears. Well, and after you do that, then you take your sandpaper. You start with 220. You start with a 220, right? Just to clean that and make the surface even cleaner. Take the other one that I just made. See, so clean. So after that, you go to, I would go to 240 and so forth. 240, and then after 240, I do 280. And then you continue to the next sanding paper grit. I would do like was 280. I'll do some 400 and then 400, 600, 800, and so forth. So after that, after all the sanding is done, then I will do polishing, But you see, I think these are things that they were so fun to learn for me. And I said, wow, yes, this is so true. And I really started feeling great because I was learning, really, really learning. I took other classes where, just use this and that, but they didn't explain to me the reason why. So I think that the aesthetic and the should be, very concerning to you. I think that's really important for us to learn, the basics and learn them well. So I'm going to go, and after all the sanding is done, I'm going to polish it a little bit, and you'll see how pretty they are. The polishing was really quick because, as you see, when you file perfect, look how perfect it turns to be. That is why this is important, because you see the seam is just not there, non-existent. It's like kind of fusing and then cleaning. You can see the solder. So this is what I learned, and I was like, oh my God, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I can do that. I was not learning the proper way to finish not even a ring, because I spent so many years doing the wrong things. But anyway, I think this is, I'm not telling you, that you should do it this way. I am glad that I know how to file and I can get these results without using any other tool but a file. I think we should try to stick to learning how to file first so you can have a pretty piece. That's my advice to you. I mean, I spent so many years buying the wrong tools, filing the wrong way, you know, because nobody could tell me better. But I was eager to learn more, and when I finally found my path, because another thing, I would buy anything that would come my way. I spent so many years buying tools that were not correct, additional tools that did the same thing over and over again. No, I have a file that can do this, and I think that's the most important thing. I mean, this is amazing. A half round file is totally an amazing tool. Something else I want to say is that um, I constantly do these rings is because I do a lot of double bands. So I wanted to master, like the nice seam and all that, that's involved. So that's the reason why I focus so much in this method. Is because I really like how the end product or the end piece of jewelry turns out. So yes, for double bands, for me it has been a really nice thing, because they look so really well done. Also, using this technique with a half round file um, is perfect for uh, ring bands that are going to be highly polished. They're not going to have any texture. So yeah, this is the way to go. I mean, if you're going to add texture, don't even worry about the perfection, But if you're going to do a highly polished um, ring band, then yes, I would recommend to use this half round technique only. And that's my advice to you. Well, thank you guys for being here with me. I hope it's not so boring. And if you have any questions, let me know. And see you in the next tutorial. Or any, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.